We're back.
Yes, we are right back this week. We are here with another topic, actually inspired by Gary Vee's
Yes.
book, because, actually, accountability was inspired both by Gary Vee and Grant Cardone. Um, and this week, I was talking with Zayne on Monday.
Mm.
We were trying to come up with a topic for this week's episode, and I'm liking new Gary Vee's book so much that I said, okay, actually, out of this 12 and a half ingredients in his book, patience and tenacity, I found it super important, super relevant for me at the moment, because actually these I will just quickly introduce this 12.
Yes. Yeah. Tell
uh,
people what those 12 are, and then what is patience
yeah.
and what is tenacity.
Yeah, so gratitude, self awareness, accountability. We spoke about it last week.
Hmm.
Optimism, uh, empathy, kindness, tenacity, curiosity, patience, conviction, humility, ambition, and the half, because it's 12 and a half, and the half is kind candor.
Candor.
So,
Yeah.
so that's what's Gary's idea is for for being successful. Actually, I would say yes,
Mm.
for
12
business
ingredients.
success. But by business success, he doesn't only mean building a business. He actually means business career, I would say.
Yeah. Having success in your career, right?
So even building a personal brand or being high performance um, specialist
Hmm.
employee, I would
Hmm.
say, because then half of the book is about those ingredients, and the other half is about, actually, three parts. So one part is ingredients, second part is real life scenarios, and third one is exercises.
Mm.
So why did I pick patience and tenacity?
Yeah.
Because my own situation, because
Mm.
I feel like um, the other things are there for me, I would say. uh, Maybe not 100%. I mean, at at full speed, each of them. But I would say that that tenacity and patience, these two, I have to be very careful with them, because
Mm.
if I don't take care of cultivating these two ingredients, I might fail miserably. But
Mm.
at the same time, I started thinking about my situation, and I realized that I have plenty of examples where I actually apply patience and tenacity.
Mm.
Actually, I would like to start this.
Go.
I know
Yeah.
it's like quite long introduction already, but I want to
Mm-mm.
give you the definitions that Gary Vee included in the book. So patience, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. It's extremely important for people in our age. So before 30, because I believe that it's actually true that most of 20 the most of people in their 20s, there, who are like who aspire to be hustlers, who aspire for success, they think of like, yeah, I have to make it before 30.
Mm.
So so and they lack patience, and they get frustrated, and they get mental health problems before because of the lack of patience. uh, and when it comes tenacity, the quality or fact of being very determined, determination. And I'm taking these two ingredients because I think that both of them are like a fuel for each
Mm.
other, I would say. the more patience you have, the more tenacity you will have. The more tenacity, the more patience. It might sound weird, but I feel that if you are determined, you will have determination, patience. You will learn patience. If you are patient, you will learn learn the art of tenacity, I would say.
Mm.
And actually, the first example that I want to talk about these two is uh, is our podcast. You know, because because the truth is, we've been doing it for over a year, almost a year and a half. We
64 episodes now. 64.
64 episodes, and
Mm.
people would expect, if if you go to someone now and you will tell them, yeah, I oh, can you still hear me? For
I can hear
some reason
you, but your
my
camera is gone.
my video went off. um Wait, let me use the other one. uh so if you go to someone right now and tell them that, I have this podcast, but actually it gets to only, like, I don't know, 20 or so people in
Mm.
every episode. Of course, it doesn't mean that all 20 people they watch like 100% of the episode, but when we accumulate YouTube views, the views on our Facebook profiles, and people who listen it on
Spotify.
Spotify and Apple Podcasts, probably will have like the average between 20 to 30, I would say, viewers, but it doesn't mean that they listen or view 100% of it.
Mm.
but but I'm still grateful. Actually, gratitude, named by Gary Vee in the book. So I'm grateful for this 2030 episode, but 20 20 30 viewers, listeners. But the truth is that maybe this number is not growing exponentially or something like that. But the thing is that we have determination and we have patience, because we know that eventually, um, it will our efforts will come into fruition
Fruition.
of a
Mm.
success, I would say.
Yeah.
So, you know people say that you need luck in business, right? And the truth is that actually you do need luck in business, but luck doesn't mean that you should be lying on your couch and waiting for luck to come to you.
Mm.
You should be acting in your life. You should take action in your life, and eventually you will hit the sweet spot.
Mm.
It's like in football. You can't score a goal if you are not on the pitch, if you are a bench warmer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like we just talk about our podcast and stuff like that, right? Like we've done this for 64 episodes, and if you do it for every week, which we have done, we miss a few weeks for festive seasons, but we've been doing it for a year and 3 months maybe,
Yeah.
and yeah, the viewers are not there, or it's not as high as we wanted it to, but it's the fact that we just kept going and keep trying, position message slightly differently. And even if at the end of the day, it didn't become to be something, but guess what? Our presentation skills, the way that we talk about things, there are a lot of hidden growth that goes with just doing it every single week consistently. I remember talking to one of my friends when I was back in Malaysia or in Asia, and then she said to me, "Wow, you guys are so consistent." And I was like, "Oh, thank you for that." Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's the
Actually,
thing.
actually, people don't appreciate this kind of compliments. And
Mm,
actually, someone telling me that you are consistent, it means great stuff to it means a lot to me, because sometimes
exactly.
I don't realize how consistent I am, and someone then tells me that, oh, you are very consistent, you are very disciplined, and I'm like, yeah, that's true, thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for that.
exactly. I just said, oh, thank you. We're still trying, we're still learning, and we just have to keep going. And so I think you're absolutely right. But what I find interesting, and I'll be interested to hear your view, is patience. It's like, I think some people will look at patience and go, oh yeah, if this doesn't work out, I just need to be a bit more patient, and then they use it as another language for being lazy. So how would we separate patience and not finding an excuse to not execute? How do you find that balance on what is patience and uh what is an excuse for not doing things?
Hmm.
Because like for me, I was thinking, right, like if I try things, right, and then it's like, oh, it doesn't work, and then if I can't just tell myself, oh yeah, you have to be patient, and then you keep doing the same thing over and over again and it doesn't work, and then you keep telling yourself you're patient, because that's delusional. You have to, I think the trick is, you have to keep on improving during the process. Don't care so much about the end results, but you focus on the process and getting the process right, or focus on the way of which you're going to get there. So you know that there's an end goal, obviously, that you're heading towards that direction. But if you're starting here, then tenacity is about, it might go a bit like that. It might go a bit backwards, but like that. And it just keep moving towards this end goal. But you can't just say, I'll try this. It doesn't work. And then you keep trying something that doesn't work, because it might just go like this. So I think it's more on keeping an eye on the vision on where you want to go, but keeping another eye on what is the right thing to do for you now. Do you need to change approach to head towards there, but not trying the same thing over and over, hoping to get a different result? But I'm quite interested, because everyone talks about patience. And if you know another guy called Tom Billieu, he doesn't like patience. He doesn't like this concept at all. So I'm interested to hear what you think.
Hmm. You know what? I think what you just said is that people sometimes mistake patience for ability to wait
Mm,
instead of ability to. And actually, that's what Gary Vee says about patience: to accept, tolerate not only delay but trouble or suffering without getting angry or upset.
mm,
So it's not only about accepting delay, it's about accepting trouble and suffering.
mm,
So it's about us, I don't know, we might say that spending this, I don't know, 1.5 hour in total during our week on preparing for podcast, for running a podcast, is trouble, suffering, because we don't get much back from it at the moment,
yep.
but we are accepting it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe sometimes some of the episodes seem like we are doing just we are doing it just for ourselves,
Mm,
but the truth is, mm, you might you might say that you are doing something in your life for someone, but actually you are always doing it for yourself, and you should always realize that you are doing it only for yourself, no
yeah.
matter what you're doing. Like, even if you are giving money to charity, you're doing it for yourself to feel better.
Mm. You know what? I also think about this, right? Like, just talk about luck. And like, yeah, it's very important, to have amazing business. It's pretty much 99% hard work and 1% luck. And it's that 1% luck that will bring your business from great to amazing. But I really believe that if you don't have that 99% first, you will never get the 1%.
No.
And what I also believe is, we are doing this, back to what you're saying. But I also believe that um, we are doing this. Yes, maybe no one is watching, maybe just you and I, but I believe there is someone somewhere, in a wider force that is paying attention, and then one day that luck will return to us in some way, shape, or form that we just haven't anticipated it yet. And I think for me, for example, it's like you just keep on putting in this hard work, and we will grow as individuals, you know. And who knows? Maybe one day you'll become successful. I become successful. Then we start to tell people we have this stupid podcast that no one listens, but we keep on doing anyway. Then people start looking it up, and then suddenly it's like, yeah, this is the whole progress. This is the whole process of us going from zero to hero.
Yeah, actually, that's actually the thing that I believe that doing this podcast, I would say we increase our chances for luck to
Completely.
occur to us in our life. I would
Completely.
say that at some point it will be either one of us or both of us at the same time become more and more prominent people, I would say, recognizable, popular, let's say, and then we will that point our fingers like, hey, so you know us from our businesses that we are doing, but actually once a week we run podcast. Join us, learn something. There is a chance for you to also to engage with us directly, because you can leave comments under the live stream, etc., etc. And I believe that then this podcast can open new opportunities for us further, even though we will be at this, this recognizable popular level. Still, like, doing this podcast will open even more opportunities for us. Or maybe it will be the other scenario. So we will be keep on doing this podcast, and there will be this maybe at some point we will really hit the right chord, just like playing the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and this will be our, like, you know like like Imagine of John Lennon, right?
Yeah.
So it will be, this one episode will be Imagine, like the song Imagine for John Lennon. And we will like, our podcast will start getting wildly popular,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will promote our businesses, and us as personal brands.
Yeah. I think people don't understand that why patience is important, because things just take time. Like when we first started, we are like, oh, what do we talk about? This and that. We don't know how to talk. Now it's just supernatural. We just got on here, we know this is the topic we'll talk about, and then we just jump straight in. It's like, so if someone says to me, oh yeah, we're gonna get you up on stage in 15 minutes to talk about something, I'll be like, yeah, fine. It's not a problem, because we have been practicing every single week for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and the result will come when you practice all of these things consistently. So yeah, I think people don't see that, right? They just go, oh, you haven't got any viewers yet. You're like, yeah, but you haven't seen all the things that we are learning along the way that builds up towards something that we don't know how it's going to turn out to be yet.
And we have tenacity to keep on doing it, because we
Oh
have
yeah.
patience, but at the same time we have tenacity to keep on doing, to keep on showing up every week for this podcast, for showing up and expressing our views, and for, you creating graphics for our episodes, for me setting up every stream for every week, posting it on Instagram, us talking every week about next amazing idea, etc., etc. Like, there's plenty of it that we are doing along the way, that we are learning along the way, that helps us right now, but definitely will help us in the long term. Imagine, I noticed that among some of our guests in the past, there was some kind of you know uh, uh, how do you call it in English? Uh, like they were not confident about themselves when
Oh, yeah,
online.
yeah.
So, and I believe that right now, any one of us, if we go to someone else's podcast,
Mm,
and even if this podcast has, I don't know, 100 viewers, 1,000 viewers, listener, maybe
mm,
10,000, 1 million, probably we wouldn't be as confident as we are now, but definitely there's we wouldn't be strangled by by the
fear.
feeling of not being fully confident of ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. You have to
We would
master.
we would be fine, definitely.
Oh, yeah, completely. You have to master zero people first, then two, then four, then eight, then 20, 50, 100, right? It builds up. Like, it's not, if there are 200 people today watching and listening, and then they keep commenting, I'm not sure if we actually have the flow to make it work, because we might just go left, right, and center, and then we can't really control it, and then we will lose the whole thing. But it takes
Yeah.
time to build that up. So I think this podcast is definitely a very good example of showing that patience and that tenacity to just show people to say, listen, we talk about it, but we actually also do it, you know, so we don't just talk and we don't just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We have to finish for
Yeah.
today, but
Mm-hmm.
I have a proposition that maybe we should run second part of this topic next week,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and I would love to talk about patience and tenacity through the angle of our business endeavors, because
Yeah.
we talked so much about podcast,
Yeah.
but that
We
we
should talk
didn't
business.
really touch on our businesses that we are doing and how we deploy uh, how we deploy patience and tenacity there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that.
Okay, cool.
Mm.
All right. Thanks to everyone who was watching tonight. Thanks to everyone who will be watching it later. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
to everyone who will be listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever other podcast platform that you are using. We really appreciate every single viewer, every single listener to our podcast. We hope that we are making a difference to even a slight difference to your life with our message. And follow us on Instagram, the Newborn Hustlers, uh, and also you can follow us on our personal Instagram profiles, who you will probably find through our um, our
Instagram.
show, the Instagram profile of our show.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Good night, or uh, just goodbye, and see you next week.
Bye bye.